Hello and welcome to the Pedders Suspension and Brakes Outer East Football Netball Show, brought to you by Gameface. I'm Adam Miller, and joining me in the studio is Steph Barkers and Adam Brogdon. Good afternoon, Steph and Adam.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Pleasure to be here as always.
Looking forward to another exciting episode. It is episode 20 this week, and plenty more action coming up because we've got more women's finals, Steph, and plenty more to talk about.
Absolutely. Well, we've got our final junior grand finals on Sunday. As you can see, we have more cups on the desk, these ones with ribbons, which is lovely, and we have more women's finals, and the action's just going to continue from there. So
most certainly, and coming in with all of that, we'll bring you all the latest news from across our competition.
We have interviews with Pakenham's Bailey Stiles, Mason Hall and Charlotte Hudolin, and Warburton-Millgrove's Jack Lee.
We'll talk about our first allotment of Yarra Valley Water Junior Football Grand Finals and go through standout players, results and more.
We reviewed last week's Match of the Round results and give you a Match of the Round preview for this weekend between Alinda Ferny Creek and Warra.
We'll also chat about the women's final results from the weekend and make some predictions on this week's matches and the grand finals.
And of course, a huge thank you to Pedders Suspension and Brakes, partner of the Outer East Football Netball Show.
Making news this week, shout out to Belgrave Football Netball Club, who are our first senior club to renew their women and girls chartered status. This is a massive achievement, as renewal means that the Magpies have actively taken steps in completing their action plan over the past 12 months, supporting women and girls in the areas of opportunity, visibility, access and investment, with plans for this to continue over the next year as well.
With association championships, state titles and the VNL home and away season now complete, Netball Victoria have announced the 50 athletes that have been talents identified from right across the state to trial for the 19 and under state squad for 2026, and 6 players were selected from OEFN. Firstly, Abby Akers from the Mount Evelyn Football Netball Club, Eloise Argoon from the Alinda Ferny Creek Football Netball Club, Annie Brown from the Warburton Football Netball Club, Sienna De La Sota from the Upwey Tacoma Football Netball Club, Ava Upton from the Mount Evelyn Football Netball Club, and also Georgia Ragg from the Monbulk Senior Football Netball Club. So congratulations to those 6 girls on making that list.
Absolutely. It's awesome to see. I also wanted to give a shout out to Alexandra Football Netball Club, who are once again leading not just the competition, but the whole state of Victoria in the container deposit scheme. So reportedly, the club have already raised over $30,000 this year through recycling and sustainability. So, guys, it's a pretty easy way to raise some funds. If you want to get involved, please visit cdsvic.org.au/fundraising.
Trying to break their record from last year, Steph.
Yeah, they well and truly have. So, I mean, I'll be interested to see how much they get at the end of the year. It could be even more. So, yeah, amazing. Well done, guys. Over now to the Yarra Valley Water Juniors Corner for an update on our junior competitions. As we mentioned, of course, the football finals for our juniors come to an end this Sunday with our older junior age groups playing the grand finals at Yarra Junction Memorial Reserve. Best of luck to all teams playing. But boys, I did want to reflect on the younger grand finals that we just had on the weekend. Some amazing talent that we saw. I think we would all agree that the skill level was probably higher than we all expected. We saw some amazing players. First and foremost, though, I want to start off with Hillsville under-11s. Matilda Watson.
Yes.
Incredible. Tell me about her game.
Yeah, 3 goals too, Steph, and she was a live wire and just the most likely forward all day, and she was taking marks overhead, but it was also just how she was reading the play, particularly at ground level and that sort of thing off the packs. And yeah, she was absolutely incredible and definitely the standout on the day for Hillsville in that under-11s grand final for sure.
Absolutely. And another one that I wanted to point out as well, also from Hillsville under-11s, Maddie Caldecott, Adam.
Yeah, so Maddie Caldecott played a really good game, especially in that second half, copped a few big knocks. And there was a second where maybe, we thought that she might have been a little bit injured, but popped straight back up and we're like, oh, okay, never mind, I guess she's all right. And then just played a hard out for the rest of the game. And it was really good to see, and like some really good talent out in that park. And yeah, those two in particular were fantastic.
Absolutely. I want to take a look at Upwey Tacoma under-11 mix, which was the second grand final of the day as well. And there were 2 standouts for me, Cody Costa and Isaac Wallace, both playing in the back line. Just felt like a brick wall all day.
2 generals in that back line, Steph, and yeah, they were the big reason why Upwey Tacoma were able to win that game. It was a really good quality game of footy, it has to be said as well, that under-11 mixed game. I was very impressed, but yeah, those 2 certainly stood out. I think Adam definitely agreed with me. They were just picking off everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I reckon we called Wallace's name 100 times in that first half, and then Costa more so in that second half. So just switching the role between them and just getting the job done. It was really well done. I haven't seen really good teamwork like that in juniors in a while, and it's really great to see these younger players really stepping up and playing their role. It's amazing. It
reminded me a bit of like Jake Lever and Stephen May back in Melbourne's 2021 premiership year, to be perfectly honest.
Exactly right.
I love that. All right, this one I think we would all agree as well. Emerald in the under-12 mixed grand final, there were 2 players that stood out. Alex Elgra in the ruck.
Mm.
Oh my God. Selling candy, 360 spins to get out of trouble. I've never seen a kid that young play like that.
Nah.
Well, also, as you said, Steph, the fact that he's a ruckman as well. You don't see ruckmen who are that mobile very, very often. It's not like we've never seen a ruckman be able to do that kind of thing, but he was able to kick a goal, and he was really good in the ruck as well. So, just a really good, well-rounded performance by Alex. And, he certainly caught our eye all day during that game.
Mm-hmm. And Kobe Hall as well. Adam was a bit of a standout in that game too, also remembered.
Yeah, absolutely. So I reckon it was Algra to Hall for half the game, and Hall kicked 3 and really got Emerald over the line.
He did, yeah.
And, he was just a really strong presence in that forward line, just tall, could take overhead marks, and also snuck out the back for one as well. So just an all-round good player, and Kobe Hall, really well done.
Yeah.
Particularly early in that last quarter, just when we thought Upway Tacoma were just starting to challenge Emerald, it looked like maybe the game was still open. He really shut the door on them and made the difference,
Yeah. All right, I want to go now to the under-13 girls. First and foremost, even though they didn't get it done on the day, Miller Plunkett from Westburn I thought was really impressive. She was in basically every contest. She was in the middle of the pack every time.
No, work rate was really, really good, Steph, for sure, and she definitely gave it her all for her side all day. It was a pretty good fight by Westburn, just ultimately outlasted by a much stronger Hillsville side in the end, but only went down by 20 points, so certainly not an embarrassing result by any means, but Miller was definitely the standout. As mentioned, she was in and under, and she was just everywhere, as you said, Steph. Like all good on ballers should be.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yeah. So I agree. Every time there was a contest, you'd wonder who was in it, and it was Plunkett. Every single time, you'd be like, who's the Westburn Plunkett? It's Miller Plunkett. So that was really good to see. Like you said, work rate was off the charts, and it's all round good game.
Mm-hmm. And Alira Gibson as well from Hillsville, definitely a standout too for mine.
How about that goal that she kicked in the third quarter, I think it was? That was unbelievable. Just from the standing start, out of the pack, bang, and it was just about probably the goal of the day, I thought, to be perfectly honest, Adam.
It was really up there. It was just really great to see. Yeah, I don't think any of the other goals came really close. I reckon that is goal.
There were some good ones.
Some good ones.
It has to be
blessed
said,
that day, but I reckon Alira Gibson had the best one.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of great goals, this one definitely came close. We had Upway Tacoma and Mount Evelyn, under 14 mix, last grand final of the day. And again, while unfortunately a losing side, Asher Miller was absolutely incredible. Let's review that goal, bursting through the pack from the boundary. Unreal.
That kid is not short of confidence, Steph. He took on every Upway Tacoma player at every single chance. The amount of times that he just went for a run with that footy, and I love to see that. And I really hope that he's just told to back himself in, because his speed out of stoppages and out of contest is absolutely incredible. And Adam, that goal you had the pleasure of calling, it was something quite special from the boundary line and just going flat stick.
From the boundary going flat stick, it's such a hard goal to kick, and you're always going to look at that and be like, that's fantastic. We saw that and went, that's so hard to do. Not only to get it in between the sticks from the boundary, but to do it running at absolute full pelt. That's a massive just feat of football. It really was. Yeah. So that was really great to see. So Asher Miller.
Yeah, I think that's also not even from a junior perspective. If we saw that in the series, we'd be like,
we'd still be talking about it on this show. It's not just special because it's a juniors player. It makes it even more special. But we'd be banging on about this.
Definitely, for sure.
And last but certainly not least, Upway Tacoma under 14s mixed, best on ground, Tayra Roo.
Always been a good player for this particular age group, Steph, because this has been a grand final matchup, Mount Evelyn versus Upway Tacoma the last couple of years, and Tayra Roo's always been one that stood out to me. So good overhead, he's so good in the ruck, and he can go forward as well and kick goals, and he was a big reason why Upway Tacoma did win the game of the week and deservingly won that best on ground medal, I thought.
Absolutely, and also knows how to use his body well against his opponents, which is really good to see as well. So just outstretch marks, and I know it sounds a little bit mean, just keeping it out of the hands of the other shorter ones, but just really knows how to play. I was very impressed with his composure on the field as well. So it was really great to see.
For sure, because he had a big matchup as well up against Heath Centre, who was really quite impressive for Mount Evelyn as well. So those two were going at it all day, and Tate was absolutely brilliant for sure.
Yeah, so I guess what we can take from this is we have some incredible talent coming up through the juniors, and I can't stress this enough. Senior club clubs, please get involved with the juniors if you're not. Build those relationships, because we want to see those kids in 3, 4, 5 years' time. We want to see them in the seniors. Like, some of those guys are going to be absolute stars, and we want to keep them in our competition. So,
and the benefit too, Steph, as well, is, recruiting your junior players into your senior side, they're only worth 1 player point per player, so they take up nothing on your points gap, and that's what local footy's all about, isn't it? We want to see juniors, growing up with these clubs and then continuing to play senior footy with them. As much as obviously it almost gets a bit semi-professional these days with all the recruiting that happens, you love to see junior players come up through the ranks and, play senior football for the same club that they play juniors for.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's take a look at this week's match of the round. But before we do that, as we always like to do, we'll reflect on our tips from last week's match of the round, which is Pakenham and Warburton-Millgrove. I think I went Pakenham for... You and me both went Pakenham for the netball, but I think I did go Warby for the footy.
Yeah, I think you and I did the same last week.
I went Warby for both and got them both wrong.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because, as we know, last time these guys matched up, we were pretty confident that Pakenham were the standout. Warby got them in both, footy and netball.
Quite handsomely too, yeah.
Yeah, so a bit of a reversal, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't lie, Steph. If I'm being brutally honest, it was a bit disappointing probably the day. I think we expected and anticipated probably 2 much closer games than what they ended up being. But a credit to Pakenham to both. They were really quite strong. Starting with the netball, Warby got the jump. They got the first 3 goals of the game, and for a second I thought, oh, gee, this might be the same as what happened back in round 8 or round 7 or whatever it was. But wasn't to be. Pakenham, the thing that they did really well was they just stagnated Warby's ball movement. I'd never seen Warby look so unsure and had no direction on where to go. There were so many lateral passes or passes going back into the defensive third, trying to work their way around. And they were really patient. But Pakenham's intensity, it just lasted for the whole game, and that was what was really impressive. They just never really gave Warby a break, and probably wasn't Warby's best performance, but it was just Pakenham just being a bit too good that really was the difference in the game, to be perfectly honest.
They obviously learnt from the last game then, and they brought that into this game and just knew exactly how to play them this time around.
But Katie Cook, she was absolutely brilliant in defence. She was a standout on the day. I was really impressed actually with Taylor McIntosh from Warburton-Millgrove, because she actually came out of the mid-court and played more in goal defence, actually played goal defence the whole game, and she actually, had a few interceptions herself, and she was probably the best on court for Warby. But Pakenham were just, as I say, it was just the way they stagnated Warby's ball movement. They definitely had a bit of a blueprint, and as you said, Steve, just learned from what they did wrong last time. Yeah,
all right, and give us a review of the footy too.
You want to go first?
Oh, yeah, sure. So the footy, it was pretty Pakenham dominated, really, wasn't it? It was, I think they just realised, they just know how to play on that bigger ground, and you could see that that's what Warburton-Millgrove was struggling with. So you could always see a Pakenham player getting at the back, being available in the pocket, and having 20 metres of space around you. It happened a couple of times, and you could just, Warburton-Millgrove felt stretched and Pakenham didn't. So, and I think that's quite literally the difference. It was 46 points in the end.
43.
43? All right, well, I just got that fact wrong. 43 points in the end, and so I sometimes spacing's all it needs. So I didn't think it was, in the middle, it wasn't a bad contest. No. But then once it got out of the middle and it was being kicked around the boundary side, and I just think that Warburton-Millgrove was stretched thin. That's probably my most honest review about it.
Yeah, I feel like a bit of a metronome saying this, but again, I think we've said about a few teams have lost this year. Warby just didn't have the connection inside forward 50. They actually dominated, I thought, the territory in the first quarter.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Scores were level at quarter time, and then when Pakenham kind of finally started to get on top and started to win that territory battle, they were actually going inside forward 50 and they were converting opportunities, and Warby just couldn't really go with them from there. And I think you were spot on. I think just the width of the ground, Pakenham played a lot better. It's not something that Warby would really be all that used to, maybe from playing against Hillsville last year. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens in finals, because I think we've confirmed the finals venue, so that might have a big factor on who's going to do better in terms of if it's a smaller ground or if it's a bigger ground. But
of course.
It was a strong performance by Pakenham, and Warby probably not their best day, but they'll know that there's still one more game of home and away football left to go. And it's actually quite interesting because Pakenham now plays Seville, and that's also going to be another ladder shaping game. So we still actually don't know who first, second, and third are going to be until the end of this week.
Which honestly is so exciting, right? We've had this conversation all year. It has been so unpredictable. Those three have been switching around like no tomorrow in both footy and netball, to be honest with you. So it's exciting. I'm so keen to see how both ladders end up.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, let's go over now to this week's match of the round, which is, of course, Alinda Ferny Creek versus Woori Yali.
This Saturday, In the footy, Woori Alec take on Linda Ferny Creek in a massive second versus third showdown. Last time they met, it was a 1-point thriller. Can the Bloods get their revenge? On the court, Linda Ferny Creek may be out of finals contention, but they've shown serious fight. Woori Alec are finals bound and chasing a top 4 finish. Rivalries will be reignited with ladder positions and future finals matchups on the line. It's the Rochford Match of the Round.
Yep, so take a look at the footy first. The last time these two sides played was back in round 8 of this season. Woori won that game by a solitary point, 9-8-62 to Alinda's 8-13-61. I think Alinda actually led by maybe 2 goals or something late in the game, and Woori pinched it. I could be wrong, but it was something like that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, coming into it this time, Woori have actually reclaimed second on the ladder because Alinda have lost their last 2 games. So Woori jumped back into second with a 12-4 record. Alinda jumped back down to third with an 11-5 record. So these two very close in terms of quality, and obviously based on the last time they played. Yeah. 1 point difference definitely suggests that. Key matchups, Geordie Williams through the midfield, averaging 32 disposals a game, including 13 contests and 7 clearances, goes head-to-head with Peter Lucas, averaging 24 disposals a game, including 6 clearances and 7 score involvements. Then down both ends of the ground, I'd say Jacob Atchison probably goes head-to-head with Noah Desta, who's Alinda's leading goal kicker with 29 goals this season. Paddy Seymour, we saw him go head-to-head with Aaron Mullet a few weeks ago when they had Wandon. I'm guessing maybe he might have the job with Taylor Gibson with 78 goals. And, you know, with all talk about Aaron Mullet, Taylor Gibson, he's only 22 goals away from 100. And he probably won't get there in the home and away, but if we go deep in finals, you know, he might get pretty close as well.
And I think it's worth noting as well, like, he's been out injured. So if he hadn't
exactly,
been, would he be another player that kicked 100 this season?
To be honest, he probably would have already gotten there, Steph. He probably would have already gotten there. And then the other interesting one, not so much a matchup, but just what's Matt Scherenberg going to do? Because he's averaging a goal a game this season, but he's also leading Premier Division for intercept marks and intercept possessions. So will he play forward? Will he play in the back line? We've even told us that he plays a bit on the wing as well. So that's going to be really interesting to see because we know he's always quite impactful. So really looking forward to that game. Heading across to the netball, the last time these two sides played was round 8 of this year, and Woori won that game also in a close one. 50-47 was the final score there. And coming into it this time, Woori are 5th on the ladder with a 10-5-1 record. Alinda 6th with a 6-10 record. So ultimately their finals hopes are dashed. And I feel like it's been a bit of an almost year for Linda Ferny Creek in the netball. They've lost a couple of close games, which they might lament a little bit because this actually could be a game where they might be able to jump into the top 5 had they maybe been able to win a couple of those close ones. But anyway, looking at some of the key matchups, through the mid-court, Chelsea Smith head-to-head with Soph Hennessy. We know how good Soph Hennessy is, obviously plenty of VNL experience. Amber Thorne head-to-head with some more VNL experience, Eloise Argoon, who's playing more goals in the second half of this season with 171 to this point. And Rhianne Fraser head-to-head with Hayley Wilcox, who's 4th for goals in Premier Division with 544. So a couple of really big matchups there. And I think this one could be a close one as well.
Yeah, very exciting. All right, let's go to tips. Adam, we'll start with you and the footy. Who are you going to go with?
I should have been thinking about this. What was this? Let's go with Linda Ferny Creek.
Okay.
I think maybe there's just a chance they get it done.
Yeah. Absolutely. Aidan?
It's a Linda's home game. They have dropped a bit in form, but I'm going to back the Bloods to get back into form and get the win here against Woori, but it is a tough one to pick.
Yeah, I think I'm going to disagree with both of you on this one. I'm going to go Woori. Yep. I feel like they are heading towards finals and they had a bit of a mid-season dip and I think they're back on track. So I'm going to back them to get it done.
Yep, fair enough.
Let's go with netball now, Adam.
We'll go Woori Alec for this one, so I'll tip the other way.
Yeah, I'll go Woori Alec as well. I think they'll finish off the season strong. It's been a pretty good year for Woori, given they finished quite low down the ladder last year. They've really improved out of sight, so I think they'll keep that going. Yep,
I agree with you on that one. I'm going to go Woori as well, just because, again, they're in that 5th spot. They're in that finals contention. I just think they have a little bit more to play for at this point of the season, to be honest. So I'm going to go with Woori.
This week's Local Footy Hub match, exclusive to Local Footy Hub subscribers, is Mumboldt versus Mount Evelyn.
And of course, our women's finals continue this Saturday with the 2 prelim finals taking place to decide who will be taking on Mount Evelyn and Warburton-Wesburn in the grand finals next week. So boys, we're going to do some more tips here now. For the prelims, our first one, Wandon versus Emerald.
Going to go... I think Wandon kept them scoreless last time those two sides played and had a pretty big victory, so I'm going to go with Wandon.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with Wandon for that matchup as well. I think that a few games that I've seen them sort of look at the scores and stuff this year.
Yep.
And also when we got early to the
Warby-Westburn game.
Westburn game, and they were doing pretty well in that just until like that last couple of minutes. But I think that they're right in this, so I'm going to take one.
Yep, I'm going to agree with you guys as well. I'm going to go with Wandon, and I think it will be a Warburton-Westburn versus Wandon grand final. Our other prelim, Upwey Tacoma versus Hillsville.
Going to go Upwey Tacoma for that one, I think. Yep.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you, Upwey Tacoma.
Yep, I'm also going to go Upwey Tacoma. So we all think it's going to be a Mount Ev versus Upwey Tacoma grand final. If that was to happen, let's predict now our grand final winners.
Well, this might be a bit boring, but I've got to go with Mount Evelyn. They've been the clear standout all season. They've really set the benchmark this year, and I think they'll keep that going.
Yep.
They really have. Like, I'd like to see what their points percentage is. Like, I know that there's not one available at the moment, but I think Mount Evelyn are going to get the job done.
Yep.
I think it's going to be pretty simple.
They've made a pretty strong case all year, so I am going to agree with you. I think Mount Evelyn will be premiers. And between Warburton-Westburn and Wandon?
Going to stick with Warby-Westburn, I think. Again, just been incredible this season. Really set the benchmark. Wandon did make it relatively close in that final they played. Oh, so not the final, the home and away game, but I think Warby-Westburn took care of them pretty comfortably in the final, so I think they'll keep that going as well.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree. Like I said, we saw them play each other not that long ago. And I think that if there was a team to contest against Warby-Westburn, it is going to be Wandon.
Yeah.
So that game will probably be closer than we've seen it. But I just think Warby-Westburn will just get over the top.
Yeah, I agree. I think they've had some great recruits from the off season. Obviously, the likes of Skylar Henderson coming across from Monbolg's premiership side of last season, and I think they've just got a really strong team connection. So I do think they're going to be very hard to beat. So I am also going to go Warburton-Westburn. Before
we move on, let's take a look at our community predictions for this week up and coming. First of all, the match of the round in the footy, Alinda Ferny Creek versus Woori-Alec.
The match of the round netball between Alinda Ferny Creek and Woori-Alec.
This week's local footy hub exclusive live stream between Monbolg and Mount Evelyn.
The women's preliminary final between Wandon and Emerald.
And the women's preliminary final between Upwey Tacoma and Hillsville.
Since 1950, Pedders have understood that every customer's journey is different, but our solution remains the same, to get you where you want to go as safely as possible. We believe it's not just the destination that matters, but also the journey, and we are committed to creating better journeys for everyone.
Well, our first special guest for this week, as mentioned at the start of the show, is Bailey Stiles from Pakenham. Trent had a chat to him before the match of the round.
Yes, guys, we're back down here for the match of the round at Pakenham for Pakenham versus Warburton-Millgrove, and we're down with one of Pakenham's players here, Bailey Stiles. How are you, Bailey?
Yeah, not bad yourself.
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, last week, big victory coming in against Yarra Glen. How did you guys assess, review that big win? Obviously, coming late into the season, so key to put big performances like that together.
Yeah, coming in the back end of the year, we obviously want to secure the top spot, have that first week off in finals. The win against Yarra Glen was obviously good. Showed where we were at as a side. Made a couple of changes from there and stepping forward. So what we do.
Some key players that you brought into the side this season was Tanner Stanton and Luke Bryan, to name a few. How do you think they've all fitted in coming back into the side there?
Unreal. Obviously, having them extra experience and knowledge has been unreal with our younger side as well. They've done heaps for us as well, which has been good.
Interviewed Jay Kidd for Pride Round earlier, and he mentioned coming across from the Eastern League, that how much of a community Pakenham is as a club, and how he was so surprised at how professional it is. Can you take us behind how that pre-season was and what makes this club so special?
It's been pretty good around here. A lot of us boys have played for a very long time, grew up, because we're very young, so a lot of our boys have played juniors together, so it's just all, and even the older boys have played together for years, so it's just culture based, and we all knew that was coming down, we were coming down a division, so we all just put our head down, bought in, and obviously having a new coach, we just trusted what was going on around the club, and it's been a good place to be.
Obviously, last time you played Warburton-Millgrove wasn't the ideal result. What did you guys take away from that you could hopefully use out there today? Obviously, probably a bigger ground you can use to your advantage, but what were some of the things you took away from that game?
Yeah, obviously, the help on our home deck's obviously a big advantage here. We did a lot of changes. We've probably got, I'd say, 8 changes in the side from last time we versed them, and I think it was just a lack of effort, and we didn't really show up till maybe the second half, and by then it was too late and just lost interest, I think. So a bit of change of pace, a bit of change of side. It's pretty much.
what makes you get it done out there today?
You play our brand of footy, switch the ball around a lot, just play it on our terms, use our ground to our advantage, and hopefully by the end of the day we'll get a win.
Our second interview for this week is Jack Lee, which Trent had a chat to him before the Warburton-Millgrove and Pakenham game.
Yes, guys, welcome back down to the match of the round down here at Pakenham for Pakenham versus Warburton-Millgrove. It is first, second, and we got Warburton-Millgrove's skipper here, Jack Lee. How are you, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Sun's out, we're saying. Beautiful day for footy.
Sure is.
Obviously, big win last week. How's the group feeling coming to the back end of the season, trying to grab some momentum to put together as the final series comes to a close?
Yeah, no, we're feeling really good. It's obviously the weather improving this last stages of the season always help. But we know it's time to get serious now with finals coming up. So, yeah, we just keep winning each week and, keep building the momentum heading into that finals series.
I want to talk about some key players you got down there. Obviously, through the middle, you obviously got Tom Baker. How's it helped having him? He's averaging just over 30 disposals a game this season. How's it helped having him in there?
Yeah, he's just class in there. We had last week off, but, he's huge for us. But not only is he huge, we've got so much depth in there that if people want to tag him, we're going to have other boys in there that can get off the chain as well. So as much as Baker's good, it's just our depth in that midfield that allows Baker to do his thing as well because there's other boys in there to worry about. The
other thing I want to touch on was how's the luxury of having two ruckmen that can purely play as ruck but also play as pure forwards?
Yeah, they're both great. They both get in, do all the dirty stuff, and like both of them, their contested mark is unreal as well. So helps the forwards out when they're down there taking a big body, and then obviously in the middle they're taking the big.
Because they're like playing second fiddle, but they're not. They're pretty much both ruckmen, but both can play as key forwards as well.
Yeah, it's a huge advantage for us. A lot of teams only have the one ruckman at the moment, so I think helps us on a day like today as well, just to overwork their ruckman, and hopefully it ends up on our side.
As well as captaining this side, you're also coaching the under-18s and recently the coach of the month. How have you found coaching as well as playing? Like, is that something you want to do in the future? And what was it like getting recognised as coach of the month as well? Yeah,
definitely heading into the future. I've just committed to next year coaching as well. Such a young group, keen to do it again. But I'll love it. I wasn't sure how I'd sort of take the playing and coaching sort of role, but I've loved it. It's just helped me worry about the 18s, and then as soon as the 18s are done, I can sort of zone.
Do you ever see a different side of you, like from the 18s to the seniors?
Oh, not really. I've tried focusing on making sure I'm a bit more PG rated.
Yeah.
Sometimes I might get carried away with a few swear words, which I'm trying to sort of hold back on.
Yeah.
But I try and be myself, try to be friends with them as well as a coach. And I'm hopefully going to be playing with these boys in years to come. So I don't want to be too much of a parent sort of figure. It's more of be a mate and hopefully captaining them over the next couple of years as well. So
last time you played Pakenham, big victory down at your home deck. How did you guys review that win, and what was it that clearly got it done that hopefully you can put out there again today?
Well, obviously that was probably our best game for the season. So for us, that's our benchmark game. When we're sort of comparing games to one another, we want to be at that Pakenham version of ourselves. And what gets it done for us against them, it's hopefully just that pressure. The pressure when we played them up at home was unreal, and they were just shocked. They said it themselves. They were just shocked about it. So hopefully we can get that pressure. It's a bigger ground, means we've got to work harder, but shock them and then hopefully punish them off the turnover. So
you mentioned with the bigger ground, is that something more you'll be using to advantage? Is like more switching? Did you have to sort of plan it a little bit different coming into the bigger the ground? Or something you want to? Is there anything you want to use a bit differently than you would say if you were at home?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different to our home deck, but I think with the cuddle we've got, we like the big grounds. We want to get into the grass and open the game right up. So today it's the pressure's the same, but then open the ground, get the space, kick to space, and sort of let our quick boys run onto the ball. So we're hoping it plays into our advantage.
Third interview for this week was with Pakenham's Mason Hall after their dominant victory over Warburton-Millgrove in the match of the round.
I'm joined by Mason Hall from Pakenham's senior footy side after a big win over Warburton-Millgrove in round 17. Mason, you must feel very happy squaring the ledger with Warby.
Yeah, they definitely destroyed us last time, and the team definitely got dismantled, and they were talking like a bit of smack. They were pretty hyped, but definitely got them today.
Yep. What were some of the learnings you took from that game back in round 8 that helped you get the win today?
Coach has been hyping on about forward pressure all year, and our pressure was pretty bad then, and we definitely waved the white flag early, but this week our pressure was way higher and definitely matched their energy.
Yep. They seem to sort of have the ascendancy early in the game and didn't capitalise. How were you able to really turn the tides in the second quarter and then the second half and get that momentum?
I reckon it was the big ground where he just used it a bit better and started to run them off their feet, got out the back a couple times, and I thought our backs held up and our ball movement was great.
Yep. One goal in the first half, mate, and then piled on another 4 to make it a bag of 5 in the second half, mate. What really clicked for you in the second half?
Oh, well, I felt like I was open a lot in the first half, but they just didn't find me. But in the second half, they just found me consistently, and I just found some easy goals, I guess. They just got sucked into the contest too much.
Yep. It was a really important game today, mate. Of course, taking a top spot on the ladder. How much confidence does that give the boys going into finals?
Pretty good. Like the week break, we can get well rested. Some of our players can come back and be cherry ripe, but yeah, just pretty happy to win.
Yes. Of course, Mason, you did play in the under-19s grand final last year, and now you're transitioning into senior football. How have you found playing senior footy this year? Yeah,
it was pretty good. I played a couple games last year, but wasn't like anything good. But this year, definitely early I started well, and then middle I was like really probably slumping, didn't play that well. But over the past couple of weeks, it's definitely been back to my best.
Yeah. Mason, one of the things me and the other commentators really love is the goal celebrations. What sort of brings those on?
Like this pre-season, we'd like mess around and like think of goal celebrations. So I got a couple up my sleeve. Didn't do too many today because I didn't want to antagonize the defenders too much. And that last one started cramping. I was pretty pumped with that banana because I've missed a couple this year.
Yep. One more game against Seville, who are currently third on the ladder, trying to claim top spot on the ladder, mate. You got the win last time. What learnings have you taken from that game that should help you maybe get the win again?
I don't remember too much from the Seville game, but all I remember was snagging a cheeky 3. So against the good teams, I play all right, and hopefully just do the same. Yep. Kick goals.
All right, Mason, thank you so much for joining us, mate, and good luck for the rest of the season, the finals.
Thank you.
And our last interview for this week was with Charlotte Hudolin from the Pakenham Lions. Had a chat with her ahead of her 100th game for the Pakenham Lions.
I'm joined by Charlotte Hudolin from Pakenham's A-grade netball side ahead of their very crucial round 17 game against Warburton-Millgrove. Charlotte, what are some of the messages being spoken about ahead of today's game?
Well, last time we didn't have our best foot forward. We had a few injuries, a bit of nerves as well, considering their position last year. So we've had a lot of practice on what their defensive structure is going to be, what we're going to do to fix it, and yeah, it should be good.
Going back to that game in round 8, you did lose by a fairly considerable margin, I guess you could say. What are some of the learnings you've taken from that game ahead of today's game?
Definitely all of our goalers need to step up today, work as a unit. I feel we didn't work our best last time. Our defensive end's going to be really strong as well, and we have a few new mids who didn't play last time, so yeah, it should be really strong.
Now, Ali Langdon in for Warby-Millgrove today, so your direct matchup probably going to be Indy Pinnock. Have you got much knowledge on her game and how you're going to try and go about combating her?
Not really. Just going to work on my own game, know how I play, and hopefully stick to our team structures, and it should be good.
Yep. Charlotte, 486 goals coming into today's game, eyeing off the 500 and leading a Division 1. Did you expect that ahead of the season?
I definitely didn't. Clearly, it's due to my teammates all working together. Like, we've had a few assists from Kelly in particular. She really is helping me get there. Wasn't expecting it at all.
Yep. Third on the ladder and an opportunity to go second on the ladder. How important is it to try and continue to progress up the ladder and solidify that double chance in the finals?
Yeah, it's super important. Hopefully we come away with the win today. Definitely something we're hoping for, so we get a week off.
Yep. Charlotte, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck for today's game and the rest of the season.
All right, last segment for this week. Aidan and I are going to finish off our fantasy football and netball teams. It's been a long time coming. We've put it off for a couple of weeks, but we're going to get it done now. We're doing our benches. For everyone out there, we are doing extended benches, so I don't want to hear people complaining that we've got extra players. We do, and I'm not sorry about it. So let's start off. Men's footy. Tell me about the people that you're adding to your bench.
All right. Well, we'll start from the top here. So I just love this bloke. I had to have him in my team. David Johnson from Emerald.
Yeah.
He's their leading goal kicker, 22 goals for the season. He also averages 2 contested marks a game, which is ranked elite in Premier Division. So that's first off the rank. Then another, I guess, midfield rotation from Yay, Paddy Evans. He's their skipper, averaging 23 touches this season, including 6 clearances and 5 tackles. Then a forward rotation, Nathan Power, 39 goals this season, leading for Belgrave. I think he's 4th in Division 1 this season, also averaging 3 marks inside 50 a game. And then a defensive rotation, I'm going to go with Hori Jury from Yarra Junction, averaging 21 disposals this season, including 5 contested and 5 intercept possessions. So they're my final selections for men's footy.
Okay, cool. All right, fair enough. Good selections. For my bench, I actually wanted a ruck/forward rotation, so I've gone with Blake Sealy from Yay. We've seen that he can be pretty dominant in the ruck. We can also push him forward and he can kick some goals. I also wanted to go with Frank Seal from Alinda Ferny Creek. I think a really strong leader and a really good communicator on the field. He was very well spoken when we interviewed him. And another player that I could throw in defence, throw in the midfield. A couple of things there. Damien Kiff from Mount Evelyn, another really strong leader at a club. As we've seen, he's kicked multiple goals after the siren to win games for Mount Evelyn. It keeps happening, and I'm going to back him to do it for me. And
don't do that to me.
And Josh Westra from Officer. I feel like, to be honest, I've gone for really strong leaders. I've also gone for a lot of versatility on my bench that they could jump into a couple different positions. So those are the 4 that I'm adding to my existing bench for the men's footy. All right, let's go to women's footy now. Who are you adding to your bench?
I'm going to go with Georgia Knight from Yay. Had a really good second half to this season. Made plenty of Team of the Week appearances as well. I'm actually going to steal, I believe, the sister of one of your players. You've got Kiara Shea, Ryan Bader. I'm going to go with Tiana Ryan Bader as well.
There you go.
So I'll throw her in my team. Also going to go with Scarlett Potter from Warburton-Millgrove. I was actually a little bit surprised that she was still available, to be perfectly honest. Another player who's had a really, really good season. So I had to throw her in there. And then just the experience of Bianca Moody, of course, who played in that premiership for Pakenham last season. I think that's always just good to have just more experienced head in amongst your team. So I had to throw her in there. So they're my final selections for the women's footy.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I've got a few people that I'm shocked that neither of us kind of thought about or picked up until this point. So sorry, girls, this is nothing against you. I just honestly was like, whoa. Jess Hockapinti from Upway, our league best and fairest winner last year. No one had picked her yet. Cannot believe that.
No.
Great steal for me. She goes onto my bench. As you mentioned, Kiara Shea Ryan Bader. She's been absolutely dominant this season for Wandon. And what I'm really impressed with about her is that this is her first season. So if she's like this now, imagine what she's going to be like in a few seasons' time. Molly Webb from Emerald, the leading goal kicker from last season as well. I think she's got over 100 goals. I think she's got over 100 goals across her career. Was leading goal kicker from last year. So she goes onto my bench. Alex Bantock from Upway Tacoma, an amazing leader. She's the captain of that side, very involved with that club, a very good speaker, very good leader, and someone that could go into multiple positions, so I wanted her. Emma Murray from Seville as well. She kind of had a late run, so she got into Team of the Week sort of in the back half of the year, so she came into form at the right time. Unfortunately, they're not playing finals, but some really strong performances. And then you've got Paisley Stock in your team at the moment. I'm taking her sister, Ishkabel Stock from Hillsville. So again, we're pitting more sisters against each other.
Yeah, we've got at least 3, don't we? Shea Ryan Bader, we've got Stock, and even the Hoskins sisters.
And the Hoskins sisters, we've split them as well. So we tend to do that. But Ishi's been in the Team of the Week only a couple of times in the back half of this season. Honestly, I think she could have been in there a few more times. She's definitely an up-and-comer. So she goes into my team. Last but certainly not least, we have a bit of an extended bench for netball as well. So who are you popping into your team?
All right, let's go through them now, Steph. Firstly, the leading goal scorer from Division 1, Charlotte Hudolin, had to have her in my team. I'm actually a bit surprised I didn't select this player last season because she's always been one of my favourites, Louisa Suleimani from Seville. She's one of the best defenders I've ever seen. She's so clean. She reads the play so well. A player that I selected last season I'm going to keep is Millie Upa from Pakenham, really strong mid-quarter, quite versatile, centre play, wing defence, centre and wing attack. So she's someone who I know I can rely on to sort of jump into any of those positions. And then much the same with Jamie Clark from Monbulk. She's also another versatile mid-quarter, one of the star players of that Monbulk side. One who's probably slipped through both of our grasp, but I'm going to pounce on was Steph Ferguson. I think you actually had her last year, so I'm going to steal her from you this year.
Yeah, fair enough.
Very, very good goal attacker. Really assists Perry Reid really quite well. Works quite well with her. So she's obviously going to be working with some of my shooters like Taylor Werner, Amalia Blake, and of course Charlotte as well. And then going to go with Erin Mullen from Powelltown as well. She's played in a couple of premierships back in the early 2010s and was best on ground in some of those grand finals as well. So, she's a player who can stand up in big moments and also another really good, solid defender.
Yeah, okay, really good choices. All right, for me, I've gone with someone who is new to Wandon this season, but not really new to us, Maddie Wallmeyer.
Yep.
Obviously been involved with North East Blaze, came over to Wandon because a lot of the girls in that North East Blaze team play at Wandon, so a really good get for them, someone who's been really strong all year. I'm going to go with Hayley Deboo from Woori. I think she's done really well with the team this year. Like she mentioned when we interviewed her earlier in the year, there are a lot of new players. She was working really hard on getting that connection through the team and getting them to gel, and they're in fifth spot right now. So I think she's a really good, strong leader. Also want to go with Brooke Erickson from Hillsville, someone that I can rotate through my goals. Could not go past and cannot believe I haven't picked her sooner. Krista Tomlinson from Emerald. She's like I think a 5 or 6 time league best and fairest winner. She's just absolutely incredible. She has played in our competition for a really long time. She's someone that I really admire as a netballer. She can go really anywhere on the mid-court, but probably I'll put her in centre if I get the chance. Another one that I'm surprised has slipped through for this long, Ella Bayless from Mount Evelyn. She coaches the 23 and under at North East Blaze. She plays in the championship at North East Blaze. She's really good at developing those younger players and getting the best out of them, obviously due to her coaching roles. And then Chanel Chandler from Yarra Junction, another one that I'm a little bit surprised has slipped through. I think she's definitely a standout at that club. Obviously has a very strong legacy as part of our competition. Her mother, Jodie Chandler, was our first ever best and fairest winner when netball started 20 years ago. Got her in my team, and that is a wrap.
It is, most certainly. So that is fantasy, footy and netball for 2025.
Now is the part where we're going to bring Adam into this, and he's got some very tough decisions to make. So, Adam, going back to our footy teams, if you had to pick...
If I had to pick?
If you had to pick based on the teams that you've seen... Who would you pick for the men's footy?
I think for the men's, I'm going to have to take your team, Steph.
Yes! Let's go!
I just think, there's a lot of great players in there. Obviously, I know there is, Aidan, not for 1 second.
What are you trying to say here, Adam? I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about my players.
I'm aware. No, I just think I'll just give the edge to Steph for this one.
Nice. Okay, what about women's footy?
That being said, for the women's footy, I'm going to go with Aidan's.
Here we go. It's 1 all.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, and last but not least, netball.
Do you want a drum roll?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm nervous. I'm so nervous.
I'm going to give the edge to Aidan.
Yes.
Only just.
2-1.
Only just. So,
2-1.
Aidan's got this 2-1 at the moment. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinions. If you guys at home want to make your own opinions, we'll be posting these teams on our socials, and we want you guys to vote on who you guys think is the better side. Mm-hmm. So, we really want to hear your thoughts. Obviously, these two have got pretty fierce competition between them, and so there's only one way to settle it. So we really want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
That pineapple I slipped under the table is the best $50 I've ever spent.
Oh, come on!
I didn't say that. No.
Look, I won't be heartbroken if I lose, but I won't be happy either.
I was pretty heartbroken when you beat me in the footy last year, to be fair. I won't lie.
That's okay. That's part of the fun.
Well, that pretty much wraps up all there is to talk about on the Pedders Suspension and Breaks Outer East Football Netball Show this week. Remember, if there's anything you'd like to see in the show, make sure you leave a comment down below. Steph and Adam, thank you so much for joining me in the studio.
Thank you very much.
No problems at all.
For all the viewers out there, don't forget to get your game face on.